if you're coming here from Brazil, you still need to be like relatively, I mean, you still need to be from like a relatively wealthy, relatively affluent family. It's like Turkey. You know what I mean? Not easy to come here from Turkey because you won the fucking visa lottery, right? You still, that's why, same with China, same with any fucking country, same with Nigeria. When you come to the United States of America from a country that is developing, you, in most circumstances, are coming from a relatively affluent country or relatively affluent background.
I wouldn't know.
Why did they do this to me? Why? I feel like they do this specifically to me. Okay? It's just not an accident, dude. There's no way. That's crazy to me, dog. You can't be doing that. Putting up trust fund kids and minimum wage workers, that's crazy.
Hi.
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 I'm Manuela.
I'm Lee J.
Hi, I'm Kashara.
Hi, I'm Kai.
What's the topic of the day?
Trust fund versus minimum wage.
Versus, huh?
Oh, versus.
We're talking about what people don't want to talk about, money.
I have a trust fund.
Definitely don't have a trust fund, so I'm representing the lower wage people.
Did you grow up with a trust fund?
I was born the last child of a wealthy, large family.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of, yeah.
Are you two nervous?
A little.
Yeah, a little bit.
You want to start with a shot?
Sure.
Sure.
Cheers.
Okay. How much is in your bank account?
Probably $80.
Wow.
Oh, dude, come on.
I'd be freaking out. Sorry.
It's okay.
No, she's freaking out too, but how much does she have? Don't say it. I don't want to know how much she has.
How much is in your bank account?
I want to say about 1,000.
$3,000?
That's not bad. I know a lot of people who are in the negative, so 3,000 is not like.
Oh, I'm in the negative.
Oh.
I just pretend like I'm not.
Student debt or.
Yeah, and credit
all of
cards and
that.
stuff, yeah.
Do you find that affects your like daily life?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But I'm so used to it at this point. I have what I need.
Okay.
So.
That's good.
Okay, let's see. How much money are you worth?
Honestly, I'm not completely sure. I'm gonna guess 750K to $1 million.
Okay.
Just shy of $1 million.
How did you come into it?
3 years ago when my grandfather passed is when I got the like actual trust.
Knowing that you were coming into that money, do you think it affected your behavior?
It's part of the reason I ended up moving to Seattle. I knew that there wasn't as much of a risk moving here because I knew I would always have that like that cushion to fall back on.
How much money are you worth?
This is starting off very wrong.
Is it?
That's crazy. How are you going to be a trust fund kid on the show and then not say it? Like, come on, dude. That's the good shit. That's the juicy shit.
That large of a number?
It's tied up in assets, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure of a number. So
Oh, okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm getting particularly bad vibes from her.
What are your stereotypes of people working for minimum wage? Be honest.
Mostly, I just think that like people's worlds revolve around work.
Mm-hmm. I would say for me, I don't make a lot of money, but I definitely still prioritize my free time. Like, I'm happy every day. You know what I mean? But it would be nicer to have a lot more money.
Mostly that it's high school kids. That was the biggest stereotype that I was shocked by when I actually started working minimum wage jobs.
That it's not just high school kids?
Yeah, that it's actually people just making ends meet.
So you said you grew up wealthy, but you work minimum wage.
Yeah.
Has something happened?
A lot of things happened. Immigrating to the United States through mainline channels is extremely expensive.
Yes.
What
My
does she
family
do?
has immigrated here illegally, so it's like a different side that I'd never thought.
Where did she immigrate from? Where did she immigrate from? You need to tell me right. I need to know. Dude, chatters are so funny. You said German. This is in Argentina in like the 50s, okay? No, we're talking if she immigrated here through mainline channels, like it could be Venezuela, it could be South Africa. Like her age range is not fucking Germany, okay? Her father is not a nuclear scientist. She's not old enough for it to be Germany. But she doesn't look South African, so I don't know.
Thought of before?
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, from where?
Mexico.
Oh, cool. I'm from Venezuela.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit! She immigrated here from Venezuela and has a lot of money. Oh, shit! Sus. Oil money for sure? No, probably like I don't know. No, not oil money. And no, not slave owners. What the fuck? Not everything is Cuba, okay? What are you talking about? What slave owners? No. Capital flight from Venezuela will either come from politics, okay? Or like your agriculture, chamber of commerce, maybe you own a media company. Or, I mean, your dad, obviously. Maybe your dad owns a media company. Maybe your dad owns a grocery store chain. You know what I mean? These are where a lot of the Venezuelans that are able to escape Venezuela and have a trust fund in America, that's where they're going to come from. The other Venezuelans that come into the country are fucking dirt poor, broke as fuck, don't have any prospects in Venezuela due to what America has done to Venezuela. They'll still be like anti-Maduro, obviously, understandably. But yeah, she said her wealth is tied up in assets. But it's let's see what happens.
I know I look like a white lady.
I do too. Don't worry.
Do you hate the rich?
The issue comes into play when it's nepotism and when I feel like it's given to them and it's bought. So don't eat the rich, but just nibble them a little bit.
Nibble.
You think she is American trust fund kid or a lot less? A Venezuelan trust fund kid? Pfft, dude. Listen, I think a lot of American trust fund babies don't understand there's some real money. Okay, you rob a couple banks, you're going to be rich. You rob an entire nation, you're going to be fucking unimaginably rich, okay? That's why the richest people are not on the fucking Fortune 500 list. The richest people are, Erdogan's family, Vladimir Putin's family. Those are the motherfuckers that are rich, okay? Like, Saudis too, but like, there's a difference between people who made a lot of money or they had like, they were able to sit on a patent or something early on and made hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever. And then there's people who have robbed the government coffers in a fucking developing nation. Those people's assets are deliberately hidden. They are not on the Fortune 500 list for a good reason. The reason is they are richer than God. Erdogan or in certain African nations you have leadership that are put up, maybe not to that same degree, but are like incredibly fucking wealthy. Marcos family, yes. Oftentimes, yes, exactly. Oftentimes people who are victims, people who are in the leadership position in like a client state or are victims of colonial violence and then take advantage of the development early on and align a leadership role with Western bankers. Those are the guys who fucking are rich.
Have a little bit. So fair, yeah.
Hi, my name is Randy. I'm one of the producers here at Cut. This game has over 400 questions. How much do you truly want to know?
Have you ever gone without a meal because you couldn't afford it?
No. As you can tell, I'm a chunky bitch. You
She's
can
awesome.
make a pretty good meal out of dollar store stuff.
Resourceful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I grew up
I
with like
love
a
her.
single mom and like a bunch of siblings, and we'd have no money, so we'd be
She's like, I'm 5'3" and I love fudge rounds.
sitting in our car, or we'd be in houses with like no water, no electricity. I remember there was a time where we had to like take empty jugs of water to like the park to like fill them. Yeah, it was so embarrassing.
I don't think it's something to be embarrassed about. It's just like that is like the reality, unfortunately, for a lot of people. And I don't know. I'm glad you made it through and you're doing better now.
Yeah, same.
So where does your family's wealth come from?
So my parents both grew up in Brazil, not well off at all. So my dad always knew that he wanted to leave Brazil. He's like, dream the US. And he is like so smart. It's crazy. And he just works really hard. Went to school, paid for himself, got a job. He's an engineer. So that's what brought us over here to the US. He works for Microsoft now. So that's why he's here.
Where does your family's
Okay, that's different. No, you guys are crazy. You don't have to immediately assume that someone, just because someone has a trust fund doesn't mean that they're immediately fucking, I think there's a difference. It's more so brain drain, more likely. Come on, dude. Everybody's like slave owner. Get the fuck out of here. Anyone else notice how white these people are from Latin America who are rich? Yeah. It's really interesting. It's really interesting how that happened. But like, hers is also only 750K. Yeah, okay. There you go. I feel like no matter what the trust fund kids say, it's going to be cringe lol. Yeah. She when she said Brazil, I perked up too. But also, it's different. It's different if she's like from Brazil and then her father is a fucking engineer that came to America and is just like a rich, like a really, really rich person that made a lot of fucking money. That one's a little different.
wealth come from?
Especially because like there's a difference between Brazil and Venezuela in terms of like who gets to come here and how they get here. If you're coming here from Brazil, you still need to be like relatively, I mean, you still need to be from like a relatively wealthy, relatively affluent family. It's like Turkey. You know what I mean? Not easy to come here from Turkey because you won the fucking visa lottery, right? You still, that's why, same with China, same with any fucking country, same with Nigeria. When you come to the United States of America from a country that is developing, you, in most circumstances, are coming from a relatively affluent country or relatively affluent background with respect to the rest of the country's economic situation. But Venezuela is a little bit different. Cuba is a little bit different. When there is like an additional layer of politics involved, if it's a country that is a foreign adversary, then it's a little bit different. It's not like, that's why there's a difference between like someone coming from Brazil versus someone coming from Venezuela, especially if it's a hyper rich person coming from Venezuela.
On my father's side, it was generational. His whole family was very wealthy and they were involved in government back home. Generational wealth, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
What'd she say?
Does wealth come from?
On my father's side, it was generational. His whole family was very wealthy and they were involved in government back home. Generational wealth, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. What stereotypes do you have of people with trust funds? And do I fit those stereotypes?
You know what? No, you don't fit them. My stereotype
Yeah,
would
she
probably be
seems
like
chill.
snobby or kind of like off, you know, just kind of like rude. Like you have manners, your parents raise you right. I think that's what parents should
She seems chill. Like, I don't think she's like,
do. They should set up their kids to have a stable life. You broke that stereotype, so thank you.
Thank you.
The way the media like predict or depicts people with trust funds is like they don't have a desire to really like work or do anything, you know, productive with their lives. But
Yeah.
I don't know, you didn't grow up with like as much wealth as you have.
Maduro knees. Brother, you think America would allow Maduro's relatives to live in America? What the fuck? Unless they're like, they're being propped up to be like to oust Maduro and like seize control of the Venezuelan government or some shit. Like, there's no way. Yes, I do actually. Yeah, there's no. If it was, no, it's more likely that they were from the former government.
You have now, so
Yeah.
do you have like, I guess like career goals or? Just,
I was working. I actually quit my job on Friday.
oh, what was your job?
I worked
Y'all only know like 5 Latino politicians, and that Nazis went there in the 50s. Worst takes. Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's like that. She could even be a social democrat. What was the guy? What was the guy who was against? Who was the social democrat that's like anti-Maduro in Venezuela? No, it wasn't Guaido. The guy before Guaido. The guy that selected Guaido. I live in Miami by Doral, and Chavez's family lives here. Even Fidel's family, some live here. Damn. Capriles, I think.
worked in advertising, and I quit it partially because of the trust, because I was like,
No.
I'm not gonna end up homeless.
That's kind of also like a stereotype, is like being able to quit your job like that. Because I could
Absolutely.
never.
Oh no, it
I
wasn't.
could
It
never.
was.
I know.
It was this guy, the hot guy, Leopoldo Lopez. This is what I was thinking of. Ethan wants to call you. Wait, what? Uh-oh. Is he hammered? I'm worried. Ethan is trying to call you. I don't know how he's trying to call me. I'm not seeing it. Not on Discord, at least.
When have you felt most guilty for having money?
A lot, all the time. Yeah. I just feel guilty about not being more conscious about what it meant to have that economic status. I was very young, and that brings a lot of guilt into my mind.
In what
How
ways
long
are
you
you
been
responsible for your financial situation?
Now you? Fuck no. There ain't no goddamn way I'm doing that.
So, like, raised having to struggle. I didn't learn how to save until I was in my 20s. I'm learning on my own as I get older, like how to invest, how to save, how to do this 401k. I don't know what that was until like this year.
In what ways are you responsible for your financial situation?
Oh, jeez.
I like that Dan stopped him from calling me drunk, but he didn't stop him from buzzing his fucking head. That's crazy. That is crazy. He looks wild, dude. Dan was like, no, definitely shave your head, though.
That makes me think of just how I've contributed to some of my financial
Dan
problems.
shaved it? Oh, my Lord.
I feel like I have a lot because I've had mental health problems, and it's taken me a lot to go through. Working regular jobs.
This is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, because none of the trust fund kids are like being objectively annoying. You know what I mean? I thought that they would be like way, way more fucking annoying, but they're being like very reserved, very tempered. It's not like that time when Jubilee had that trust fund kid who was like, I'm a multi-millionaire at the age of 14 because I worked really hard.
Like at the grocery store, like I did, fucking made me want to kill myself. I've gotten to a point now where I'm like, I'm actually doing something that makes me happy. It might be paying me significantly less, but the mental clarity that I have overrides any need for more money. I think I need to take another.
How do you see that and not think that this system that is designed to create these outcomes is not an inherently violent one? You know what I mean? Just a bootstrap situation for her, I guess, right? If you're a defender of the current structure.
Another
current
shot.
order.
Yeah, I gotcha, girl. I gotcha, girl. We're here. We're right here. Cheers.
Cheers
The mental health.
to mental health.
Okay.
What are your biggest struggles in life?
I don't really know what I wanna do, really. My struggle is often like, how do I actually make myself happy beyond just like my basic needs being met? What are your biggest struggles right now?
Definitely money.
What are your
Jubilee?
biggest struggles in life?
My mental health is
Oh,
probably
no.
the biggest struggle.
What's
Oh no, trans liberals versus trans conservatives. Oh God, I'm gonna die. If I watch that, I will perish. I will cease to exist. I feel like Jubilee is a secret op to just kill me. Okay? It's gotta be a secret op to just fucking end my life. Every time I see like people from marginalized communities directly argue against their best interest by being like, I'm a conservative, I'm ride or die. They're some of the most vicious. Oh, that's bad.
your trauma?
So growing up in wealth meant that my family was under a lot of risk of danger back home. Kidnapping.
Yep.
I had to have a guard with me at all times, and then
Wait, what?
What are your biggest struggles right now?
Definitely money.
What are your biggest struggles in life?
my mental health is probably the biggest struggle.
What's your trauma?
So growing up in wealth meant that my family was under a lot of risk of danger back home. Kidnapping.
Yep.
I had to have a guard with me at all times, and then slowly I would realize that other people around me that I didn't know were also my guards, but they were everywhere. I struggled a lot to get a sense of like safety in the world.
Yeah.
Last one. How are we more similar than you expected?
I don't know. To me, you seem like a normal, like humbled person who has like their head on straight, a very like broad perspective. I feel like that's like all I could ever ask for from anyone.
Yeah.
No, we're similar in the sense that we just both love being in our 20s. We're both like having fun.
You have like such an amazing personality. It was like so fun. I was really nervous.
I was
coming in, like,
nervous
excited
too.
and nervous.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna spit on me and be like, oh my god, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's on a completely different level. She's operating on a very different playing field than the other trust fund kids, I think.
Never.
I'm like, I love Bill Gates, and I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was expecting like someone completely out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm surprised. We are a lot more similar.
I love that. You're awesome.
Well, yes, you're
Cheers
awesome too. It was nice to
awesome
meet
people.
you.
Yeah.
This is pro trust fund baby propaganda. Do not fall for it.
How was this experience, you two?
I mean, I fully expected someone completely out of touch with reality because, of course, me feeding off of what society has told me, like, you wouldn't know a struggle at all. But yes, you do, because you're human.
Yeah.
God, dude, we do not deserve the empathy